Centeno! Yeah. I want to wrestle! Oh. Get out of here. What's up, gentlemen? So today I want to go over 10 of the manliest hobbies a guy can have. You know, the unfortunate reality is that as we age, as we mature, a lot of the things that we loved doing when we were younger, we stop doing or we lose interest in because life intervenes. But it's critical that you maintain certain things that are just for you. Things that you do because you love them, things that you do just because you dig them. Gentlemen, today we're going over 10 of the manly ones that I personally think are super sexy. The first super manly hobby that a guy can have is freaking karate, boxing, grappling, or jiu-jitsu, or rear naked choke. I'm gonna make you some man. Want some of this? Come and get on a freaking terror. I'm not a terror. I used to be a terror, actually. Interestingly enough, I was a wrestler in high school. I loved it. There was something so incredibly primal about combat sports, right? Whether or not it's jiu-jitsu, whether or not it's MMA, whether or not it's boxing or wrestling or whatever, right? There's just something incredibly masculine and manly, not to mention personally satisfying. This goes back, I'm talking like Greek, Roman times. They would compete against each other, and there is still something incredibly amazing about it, right? It pits you against somebody else. You got to train super hard. You got to bust your ass. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You're leaving it all out there on the line. And the great thing, guys, is that there are clubs, there are associations, there are gyms that you can join if you are somebody that wants to get into it. Even if you don't have any experience, they have beginner level classes, and it's just incredible to challenge your body, but also challenge your mind. Number 2. Pool! Did you drop me one of those yet? Hunting, fishing, skeet shooting, target practicing, whether or not it's with a rifle, a gun, or even like a bow. Guys, there's something incredibly like just manly about doing things like that. Now, I personally am not a hunter. I don't like killing things. I love animals, and so I don't hunt personally. I'm also not real great around like blood and guts, but the truth is, guys, you don't need to actually kill anything in order to enjoy the sport of shooting, all right? Whether or not, like I said, it's with a rifle, a gun, a BB gun, or even a bow. It's incredibly just manly, it's masculine, and it's definitely sexy. The third super manly hobby that's actually pretty awesome, it's also awesome if you are single, because there are a ton of spicy senoritas that are also single, and that is intramural sports leagues. Any type of sporting activity, guys, is incredible, right? You're outside, you're active, you're around a lot of other single people. Now, the beautiful thing is that if you go online and do like a search for like intramural, like sports leagues in your area, you're gonna find a ton of options. Tennis, ping pong, soccer, kickball, softball, basketball, because I want to get some of that. Exactly. What? I am the worst basketball player, but it doesn't matter. Personally, I love going out and just shooting hoops, right? When I'm bored, I'll grab my basketball, go to the local park, and I'll just sit there and pretend I am Michael Jordan. Unfortunately, I'm not, and I suck, and all the kids laugh at me, but it doesn't matter because I'm having fun, and I'm more masculine than them. That's what I'm talking about. Actually, I'm not more masculine than them. Another one is football, right? Flag football leagues. Are you kidding me? Gentlemen, it doesn't get any more manly because personally, I love football. Once again, this is something that I played when I was a little kid. But then as I started to get a little bit older, 10th grade, I'm like, yo, I'm the only one not growing, and I'm also not that fast. And so I probably shouldn't play football, but I love football. Unfortunately, I went to a college whose football team isn't amazing. Let's go Mountaineers, but let's go Mountaineers. Like seriously, you gonna do me like that? And then I moved to Atlanta. But the good news is that DraftKings is today's video sponsor, and if you're somebody that loves football, regardless of if you went to WVU or you're a huge NFL fan, gentlemen, you now have the ability to upgrade and elevate the excitement of every game. So DraftKings is the leader in fantasy sports, and they are putting you in the center of the action with a shot at winning millions of dollars in prizes each and every week of the regular football season. So check this out. All football season long, DraftKings is having daily football fantasy contests with millions in prizes. And the way that it works is super badass. All you got to do, guys, is hit that link down below. That link is special, and download DraftKings. While you're signing up, make sure to use the code ALPHAM. Guys, if you're a new user and sign up and use that code ALPHAM, you're going to have a shot at millions of dollars in prizes with your first deposit. All right, the way that it works, guys, you actually build and draft 9 players. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex, and a defense. And each player listed has an assigned salary. And for it to be a valuable solid lineup. You can't exceed the salary cap of $50,000. Now for me, like, I went deep in my research and I'm feeling pretty good about my chances. And then as you're watching, you're going to rack up fantasy points for a lot of different things like field goals, not to mention touchdowns, yards, and a bunch of other stuff. For full rules and scoring, guys, you can just go to DraftKings.com/fantasyfootball. Anyway, guys, it's just a ton of fun and it really just elevates the excitement while you're watching each and every week. Guys, now is the time. Hit the link down below, download DraftKings, and for new users that use the code ALPHAM when you sign up, guys, you're going to get a shot at millions of dollars in prizes with your first deposit. I'm telling you, it is a ton of fun. You guys are going to love it. Even if your home team sucks, this allows you to actually build a team that doesn't. I'm telling you, it's a ton of fun and a great way to elevate the excitement each and every week. Number 4 is gardening or landscaping. Guys, there's something incredibly manly, earthy about getting your hands dirty, right? Whether or not it's planting trees, it's mowing the grass. When you're done, you're all hot, you're all sweaty, maybe get a beer. Bottom line, guys, it's a great way to get active, get outside. It also just feels good connecting with nature. Number 5. Yep, definitely need to change that. Maybe change the head gasket. Yeah, you know what I'm doing? I'm working on cars. Working on cars, fixing your existing car or restoring an old one. Talk about manly hobbies. Are you kidding me? Now, something I would just like to tell you real quick, all right? A few things that you definitely need to do in terms of a car is know how to change the oil if you can. Now, some of these newer, fancier cars, the oil changing process is a little bit more nuanced than the older cars, but changing oil is something that I feel like every guy should know how to do. Also, something else you should know how to do, change a flat tire. Whether or not it's yours or some stranded spicy senorita that's on the road like, oh my God, I got a flat tire. You'll be like, yo, mamacita, I got you. Something else you need to know how to do in terms of a car is use jumper cables, all right? You never know when you're gonna need them. Now, in terms of automobiles, something else that's just a badass hobby that I personally want to get into is actually restoring an old car, right? I love the idea of an older Bronco, maybe an old like little Porsche, something that's just old and beat up that I get to actually do myself. You know, working on cars, if you are savvy that way, it's incredibly handy and it's also a great hobby to have because those spicy senoritas, if they ever need somebody to work on their car, who are they calling? Exactly, you. Number 6 is hiking, camping, anything outdoorsy and active. This is an incredible hobby, guys. Personally, I go on a few hikes a week. I love going to the mountains. I love just walking, popping my earbuds in. It's just great because it allows me to get outside, be active, and be amongst nature. You know, there's something incredibly rejuvenating and revitalizing when you're actually outside. Now, I am not the hugest camping fan, but I also think that camping is an incredible hobby. You know, hiking, someday I hope to go out to some of these big national forests and parks and do a little bit of hiking and backpacking. I haven't yet because I'm busy making amazing videos for you, but someday I will. Next hobby is reading. Or writing. So reading and writing, all right? Some of these earlier hobbies were like technically more like manly, but I personally feel like education and building that big, beautiful brain muscle of yours is also incredibly masculine. Reading, educating yourself. This is something that every single one of us should be doing, whether or not you actually sit down with a book or listen to a podcast. Either way, guys, it's about consuming knowledge, all right? Something else that I personally feel is incredibly masculine is writing. Whether or not it's for pleasure, whether or not it's just something creative in terms of an outlet for you, or you do it for a specific reason or goal, there's just something incredibly masculine about both reading and writing. The next manly hobby that's incredibly sexy is riding an ATV. Whether or not it's a motorcycle like a dirt bike, or it's a 3-wheeler, a 4-wheeler, even a golf cart with knobby tires. I grew up riding like dirt bikes, 3-wheelers, and 4-wheelers, and it's a passion of mine that I haven't done in a while. Now, unfortunately, I live in kind of like a city metro area, but it's definitely something that I want to get back into because I personally love it. It's fun, but it is a little bit dangerous. You just got to make sure that you are careful and you don't do anything too stupid, and never drink and drive. The next manly hobby is cooking or grilling. There's nothing more masculine than grilling a piece of meat, right? Exactly. It's fun, it's delicious, and it's also also something that as dudes we like to do, whether or not it's over an open flame or a Weber grill. It doesn't matter. If you know how to grill, if you are somebody that knows how to cook, or that's something that you enjoy doing, this is not only incredibly masculine, it's going to dazzle the taste buds of those spicy senoritas. And last but certainly not least, the 10th manly hobby is definitely exercising and working out, all right? Whether or not it is you going for a run, whether or not it is you going and joining a running club, right? Biking, anything active outside, canoeing, kayaking, you just getting out there, doing like Tough Mudders and things like that. This is a hobby that is incredibly masculine. It's also good for the body, it's good for the soul. And the really cool thing is that a lot of these fitness facilities have a very community feel. And so you get to know a lot of the people you're working out with, and typically you're going to have some type of extracurricular activities that you guys do. And so it's a great way to not only get physical, get active, but connect with other amazing people like you.